Hi, my name is Vivian, but you can call me Viv, in case you didn't know that yet. At the very beginning, Arthur, the character, came into existence as a bedtime story that Mark Brown was telling to his 5-year-old son, Tolan, who wanted a story about a weird animal, which Mark Brown decided the animal to be an aardvark. And that was the very beginning of Mark Brown's series of picture books of an animal-human universe that would soon become a television series. And what I'm going to find out is why the characters in this universe look like animals. Cue intro! Let's get started with that question that's been burning in our minds. Why the characters in this universe look like animals? Let's start with the classic theory of Arthur being in a coma, who dreams up this whole entire anthropomorphic animal world. The theory revolves around Arthur being depressed after his dog died, and his family takes him to the zoo. There is an outbreak of animals, Arthur almost gets killed by one of the animals, and the last thing that he sees is an aardvark. Dun dun dun! And that's how this whole world exists, in theory. And do I believe that this theory could be true?
No.
But let's go over the facts, instead of my opinion. There has been animal escapes from zoos before, but there hasn't been one where many animals escape at once. But is it possible for it to happen? It's very unlikely for many of the different animals to escape on the same day. But a coma can happen. But can people dream in a coma? It depends on the injury. As long as Arthur's brain isn't damaged in a way that will affect his dreaming, he will be able to dream while he is in the depths of his coma. But can he dream up an entire anthropomorphic world in a coma? It doesn't sound possible. Even if that crazy zoo outbreak was possible, it's very unlikely for the dream to randomly generate into the world that we see in the series. Since none of that is possible, how can he dream up that certain kind of world in a coma? He can't. Unless he was lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming, which is the ability to be aware that you are dreaming and control it. Is it possible to lucid dream in a coma? I'm not really sure, but let's say he's not in a coma and he's just dreaming naturally. And as long as he had an idea where everyone, including him, were all different types of animals, he would have given himself that lucid dream. And he would also be able to control that illusion of time in his lucid dream, making it seem longer than it actually was. It would also explain why weird stuff has been happening during the series, like George being covered in Boston cream pie, and Arthur being in the 3rd grade for a long time with many continuity errors. Making all the stuff that is being controlled by Arthur makes sense. It all sounds possible. Except, it doesn't look like he is in control of what's happening, such as controlling the length of summer and making it last forever. He doesn't do that. And the power to not get Mr. Ratburn as his 3rd grade teacher? He doesn't do that either. And when Buster hid a toy in his backpack, he didn't know about it. And DW having an imaginary friend that he can't see. It doesn't make sense. Maybe he is recreating everything that already happened to him, and pretending that he isn't in control when he actually is. It's a stretch, and it sounds like it could be true. Except for one little thing. 2 things to be exact. Problem number 1. If he was able to lucid dream, he wouldn't create his entire life. And if he was able to lucid dream up an entire world, he would not do plain old ordinary things. He would create a paradise where his room is a mansion of impossible rooms. And if this was all a lucid dream, why isn't he experiencing all of this stuff that he wants to happen? Problem number 2. If Arthur is recreating things that already happened to him, and pretending that he doesn't know what is happening, why is he so good at lying when he actually isn't? Since he usually touches his glasses when he lies. So, yeah. The next theory that could be true is that all humans were wiped out by a nuclear war. Where there was a nuclear war and the animals who survived evolved into humans because of the nuclear waste. Where they created another society that's similar to our own. A little too similar. With things such as history, pop culture, books, and so on. Unless that universe's previous humanity was completely different. Which led to their end from a fatal war. Except for one minor detail with certain history. Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs were the previous roamers of their Earth. Meaning that many years ago, when all the dinosaurs died, cats, bears, rabbits, rats, alligators, dogs, ducks, sheep, goats, monkeys, and aardvarks all evolved into humans. Very similar to how we evolved. But it's not that simple. Since mutation is complicated, even for us. When we evolved, the changes through pieces of generations were small and it took a long time. But for the Arthur characters, how did they get from a normal animal to a human? Did any of these animals exist way back then for them to be evolved into human beings? There is too many questions, and all of it is complicated. We don't know their history of their evolution that well, and they might not know much as well. It might confuse a few of them to see human ducks riding bikes in the rain, and to others it's perfectly normal to have a best friend that has ears that are 3 times bigger than yours. It's just too complicated to create a neat little bow to this theory. It just has something to do with evolution in this universe that's similar to ours. Anyway, to what DW had said one time that describes this situation.
Well, I'm sorry to say, but we just don't know. Aww.
You took the words right out of my mouth, DW, and her classmates. So, that's all I have to say. Goodbye, everyone, and have a wonderful kind of day. I think I'm done.